everyone, and welcome to the news brief. It's airing Wednesday instead of Friday this week because I don't know why. It just is. But yeah, I just want to do a quick news brief. Most importantly, today, as I'm filming this, is 3/4/2025, and of course, kind of like how I predicted, Microsoft and Activision announced today that Tony Hawk 3 and 4 is coming in July 11th, I believe. Day one on Game Pass, which I'm excited for because then I don't have to spend $50 for it. So that's always nice. But I was really hoping for a shadow drop. It's one of those things like that'd be so cool. I mean, it's a remake. A shadow drop would be really cool and would really work, but I mean, July's fine. I can wait till July to play it. So that is pretty awesome. And also, yesterday we were celebrating the Switch's eighth birthday. It's 8 years old. That's astounding. So originally this was going to be its own thing and not a news brief, but I didn't come up with enough things to fill an entire video. So I was just like, oh, I'll add it to the news brief. But I just wanted to say like happy birthday to the Switch. It's one of my favorite systems. And also, I just kind of wanted to go over like some of like the top like jaw-dropping announcements or things that happened in the Switch era with either a game or announcements, things like that. Um, so first and foremost, the original announcement for the Switch. I remember leading up to its reveal, there's so many different like photoshops and AI, maybe not AI generated, but like photoshops of like a little controller with a screen, and I was like, that's kind of garbage. It's not what Nintendo's doing. And I just remember the hype surrounding it. And then we finally got the reveal. I think I was at work in my office when that reveal dropped. Like I was watching it on my screen on my lunch break, and I was just astounded. I could not wait to pre-order that. And as soon as I could, pre-ordered. In fact, when I pre-ordered it, I had just left the doctor's office because I had come down with strep, and there was a GameStop right across the street from my doctor's office. I just went right there, pre-ordered it, and then went home and like knocked myself up with NyQuil and went to bed, kind of thing like that. But I did get my Switch on launch day, and the midnight release was a lot of fun. My buddy Nelson and I went to pick up our Switches, and then my son Sean, who was 9 at the time, 8 years, no, six, 8 at the time, came with me for the midnight launch. It was his first ever midnight launch, maybe his last because they don't really do that anymore. So that was a cool thing to do with my son. He got to experience a midnight launch because I don't think too many kids in his generation are gonna experience that. And then, of course, right after that happening, I did not play Legend of Zelda as soon as I got home. I was exhausted. I had worked the whole day, didn't play till the next day. But when I fired it up, and you step out onto the Great Plateau, and you see Hyrule in the distance, and Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild appears on your screen, that was again a jaw-dropping moment. I was so excited to play that. And yeah, that was going to be the game because I was leaving for Japan a month later, and I was going to play the game on the flight. I was like, it's a 13-hour flight. This will keep me busy. But I couldn't put I couldn't put Breath of the Wild down, so I 100%ed it before my flight to Japan. Oh, sorry, my nose itch. Luckily, I had other games to keep me company on that flight. But yeah, that game was just unbelievable. Next jaw dropping moment, kind of thing like that, is Super Mario Odyssey when you took control of the T Rex. I remember they showed that in the reveal trailer, and but actually doing it, walking around as that like realistic looking T Rex, or at least realistic in a Jurassic Park sense. Who knows what a T Rex actually looked like? I don't want to be ratioed by a bunch of paleontologists. Which, if you're a paleontologist here, hi, kind of thing. But yeah, super cool. You got your mustache, your Mario hat on. That was pretty awesome. And then, of course, we finally got the long-awaited Metroid Dread. Though I'm pretty sure it wasn't the same Metroid Dread that we thought we were going to get. I think way back in the Game Boy Advance days, might have been. But you know, Metroid Dread finally came out, and that first encounter with those security bots. Good lord, that might have been the scariest thing in a Nintendo game since Eternal Darkness. If you ask me, that was just insanity. Just like coming up on that thing, and then it just had this Resident Evil 2 and 3 kind of feel where you just had this giant monster lurking about that you really couldn't kill. Like you could disable them like if you timed that button press right, which I think I was like 1 in 4 chances for me that I actually timed it right. But then, you know, it was just this stalking creature. You had to hide from it and escape, and it created a whole new like aspect to the Metroid saga, kind of thing like that. So that was a pretty awesome moment. And then a couple superficial moments left on my list. The fact that Doom Eternal, Skyrim, and The Witcher 3 all ran particularly well on the Nintendo Switch. Hats off to Bethesda and CD Projekt Red for making that happen. I know it's kind of cloud streaming, download part based, but they made it work, and a lot of people enjoyed those games on there. And Skyrim was a launch game, so or right around the launch game. I know it was in the original trailers. I did not buy Skyrim for the Switch because that would have been like my fourth time buying Skyrim, and I'm only going to buy your game 3 times, Bethesda. And then, of course, GoldenEye, Banjo Kazooie, those rare treasures coming home on the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack for the Nintendo 64. In fact, right before I was started filming this, I was playing some GoldenEye 64 just to kind of kill some time. So it's great to have those games back with Nintendo, even if they are just, the N64 versions. We're not getting any new ones anytime soon, though. Who knows? I did suggest to Microsoft in one of my previous videos, hey, let Nintendo or let Rare make Banjo Kazooie games for Switch 2. That would be cool. And then lastly, jaw dropping moment. This system has sold over 150 million units and will probably eventually break the PlayStation 2 record. And this all coming, it's a sole video game console. So technically speaking, in my opinion, it's the greatest video game, selling video game console of all time, because a lot of people bought PS2s just for a DVD player. I'm not taking away from the sales numbers of the PS2, but there is a contingency of people who only use it as a DVD player, not as a video game machine. Or anybody who bought a Switch, bought it to play video games. So that's impressive in and of itself that they sold in this day and age when you have so many choices. They sold 150 million plus. I think it's almost at 151 million now. So depending on who you ask, they're 4 to 9 million away from beating PlayStation 2's records. That's pretty awesome. So happy birthday, Switch. And that is going to do it for the news roundup for this week. Thank you for tuning in. Come back Friday where I'm going to have something. I don't know what I have planned yet for Friday, but we're going to be doing some streaming this weekend. I was going to have a flippy drive, how to install video, but when I got my flippy drive installed, it didn't work. I think either I messed up the ribbon cable or I just had a bad ribbon cable. I don't know which one, but it's not booting up for me. So I contacted Off Broadway, and hopefully they get back to me soon. Much like Genki did with my dead. I just have bad luck with stuff with my dead mini dock, and then I can get a new ribbon cable because I think that's all it is the ribbon cable. So if I can just buy a new ribbon cable from them or they send me a new ribbon cable and I get it actually working, I will give you guys a review on the flippy drive. So far, the people who have got theirs working love it. I can't wait to actually get mine working. And once I have that, I'll be streaming a lot more GameCube games also over on Twitch and here on YouTube. But with that all said, thank you for hanging out. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.